Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to bring you Port Jervis Youth Football League action. Home opener as the Port Jervis Youth Football League hosts Middletown in a triple header. We started today off with the Mighty Mites game, followed up by the D-1 contest that just ended, and we are finishing this afternoon with the marquee matchup. The D-2 Raiders host the D-2 Middies of Middletown. Again, Tom Fagione here live at Harriet Space Park in the town of Deer Park in beautiful Huguenot. Spectacular day for a home opener. Amazing football weather. Temperature at game time right now, 76 degrees. A breeze blowing across the beautiful football field here. Truly a field of dreams. The last of the opening ceremonies are just about done. As my co-host and partner in crime, Kevin Halpney, he's double duty. This guy, you get a microphone near him, and he's just the velvet voice of so much. So he's getting done with the opening ceremonies, and the teams are about to get set. Both teams are here at the 50-yard line as we get set. Beautiful breeze blowing here, making it so nice and comfortable to watch football. We're bringing this on Facebook at my Facebook page, Tom Fagione. So if you're listening and if you want to share with all your friends and family near and far, please just share the link. And we are not only are we broadcasting this on Facebook Live, but we are recording this on YouTube, and as well as we are making a solid recording for future download ability. So we're getting all set here. New this year is we have our little Fandangled camera here. So we're going to try to not only do the audio, which we've kind of got that ironed out a little bit, but we want to make sure that we get the video down pat and solid for you as well. Coach is now just waiting as the referees start making their way onto the field. They'll have instructions for both teams' captains as we get set for D2 action. The D1 game not going so much in the favor of the Raiders as they went down to Middletown 19-0, but it was a great success for the both Mighty Mite teams as they battled out into a very exciting contest, but no losers here today as it was all winners so far as the teams have enjoyed beautiful weather and great football. We saw some great plays, athleticism, and most importantly, we saw some spectacular sportsmanship and teamwork so far today. We look forward for that to continue here in this game number 3 of the week, or weekend, that is. And all of this being brought to you by our two biggest sponsors. Number one sponsor, Richard's Army Surplus at 264 East Main Street. Yeah, you know them, the Army Surplus store. Been around for over 40 years. They are our number one prime sponsor. We want to thank Joe, Terry, Amy, and maybe that other guy, Tom. He hangs out there once in a while. They're open every day, but Monday and Tuesday, 10 till 5. Come down and check them out. This weekend, the Labor Day special. They have a 15% off everything in the store, minus some of the sharp pocket knives and fixed blades. But you need some boots. You need a backpack for your kid for school. You need some camo pants. They have it all down there. All proud to support all the good goods that are available there. And come on down, get yourself a nice veteran T-shirt. If you got someone you know that was in the Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, we will set you all up down there as we get set for the playing here of the national anthem. No better way to start a game than the beautiful national anthem. Joining me a little bit later on will be my Kevin Halpney. Once again, we are listening here on Facebook Live. We also want to remind you of our sponsors, Richard's Army Surplus, our number one sponsor. Our number two sponsor is the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. The Outdoor Club of Port Jervis has done so much to promote outdoor experiences. They've assembled over 45 miles of hiking and biking trails in the Watershed Park region of Port Jervis, and just recently christened and opened the brand new pump track, the largest the largest blacktop pump track in the East Coast. Beautiful location at Riverside Park. So we want to thank Mike Ward, president of the Outdoor Club, and all the members who have made the club a great success. That success only exists because people like you are involved. Get out and enjoy the hikes. Check them out online. Hike and bike with them. Their website is ocopj.org. That's ocopj.org. Check them out on Facebook, the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. Weekly and weekend hikes, always free. Bike rides usually on Sundays. Check out their most successful hikes always. They do it once a month. It's the full moon hike, and it's always a lot of fun. So make sure you go out and support the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. They're always looking for members, and if you want to become active and enjoy yourself a little bit, get on out to any of the activities the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis puts on, and you can always find them on Saturdays at the Farmers Market. You know who they are. They have that big green tent that says Outdoor Club of Port Jervis. So we want to thank them for their sponsorship today, along with Joe, Terry, and Amy down at the Army Surplus Store for their sponsorship. As without them, none of this can happen. So we're here today, and in doing so, I want to welcome back the man who does it all, and he does it with ease. Never a sweat on his brow. My good buddy Kevin Halpany. Hey, Kev.
Boy, you haven't seen me.
Well, there could be a joke there. But hey, Kev, we did do the 5K a couple years ago. We need to resurrect that, buddy.
We do. I did the Middletown run last year at the old Psych Center. It's the same day as the Port football opener, so I don't know if I'm definitely doing it. It's in the morning. Last year, I did a little PR action. That is brutal. I thought that I trained for it, and
that's the one that has that hill twice,
multiple hills. Yeah, and my brother-in-law George kind of set the pace for me at the race, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have accomplished the goal, which was to.
Well, George is legit. He's a former Marine, a guy squared away. Come on.
Correct.
And you and I were not that. But Kevin, you did double duty here so far this afternoon, running the PA and the announcements of the teams. Good job there, Kev.
Thanks.
So we're getting set for D2 action. What's great is the progression, not only of, Mighty Mites D1, D2. These guys look like NFL players compared to the Mighty Mites. These kids are big.
They are. You start to really see the physical difference at this D2 level. If we had D3, you'd see it there too.
The referees know it too, because the Mighty Mite game, the referee knows I only have to run a few yards and the play will be over. The referees were really stretching it out before this game. So they know that they have to be on a swivel as they get set. Speaking of swivel, look at Kevin running the camera. And you were able to secure some roster information from Middletown as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some intel. We have a roster for them. There's actually a whole bunch of them over here. I don't know if the woman from Middletown who was kind enough to come up and help us.
Oh, you know who she is?
She left.
She's the lady. She's
running the camera.
She's running the camera. We're going to pan down to her, and we were joking about her camera down there because it is world class, and we just want to thank her for coming with that camera. Actually, the dual cameras. So they are ready to record. We are bringing you this live on Facebook and on YouTube. Hey, if you're listening on Facebook, chime in with a comment. Let us know what you think of the screen. Let us know what you think of the kids. Share with all your friends and family. And let's promote Port Jervis football, not just in the region, but around the country. Mike McCarthy was listening in from Texas this morning. And so we were glad to see him. Hey, Kev, it's game 3. Black jerseys on black jerseys once again.
Middletown gets the ball first, and they fumble the first snap.
Fumble the snap. And they were able to move the ball up for about 4 yards on the carry.
That's Xavier Patterson. He's 11, or he will be 11 anyway. His birthday, he is 11. His birthday was in May, so he recently turned 11, and he's a big kid too. A lot of size there at the quarterback position for Middletown to start.
Colin Carreri in on the tackle. He's playing an interior line position, and we'll run down the whole roster for Port Jervis in terms of the defensive alignment as we can. Karsten McLaughlin lined up at the safety or right end. Check that cornerback position. That's CB. Nicholas Ostrom out there on the field as well. Middletown breaks the huddle. Middletown a little bit confused. Left tackle was in the backfield. Now he's lined up at left tackle.
The kid, is now lined up at the right guard position.
Yeah, and he's big
and
kid,
look at the size difference between him and the center.
Yeah. Motion.
Neptali Acevedo is the center.
And, what a hit. Oh.
Around the outside, he's got room to run.
And a big block on the outside. And then, what a nice tackle met by the Raiders there at about the 50-yard line.
That was a great hit for
That
Port.
was Cody Kinney, 19 for Port. He's the safety. He stepped up and made that play. But that block on the end, that was almost a crackback block. Beautiful block. That spread Port Jervis's defense out. And that'll be a first down for Middletown in Port territory. 1st and 10 Middletown at the Port Jervis 49-yard line. And that hit was made against Port Jervis's, and I believe that was Gage Smith, 13, who playing the left defensive end, as he just got blindsided there. But he popped right back up.
He's a big kid, too. He's the biggest one on that defensive front.
Middletown's coach says, do it again. Sure, that was a great play for Middletown. All right, Port with a little defensive alignment change. Devontae Griffin's now playing the left or right tackle position. Motion by Middletown.
Cam Headley's the quarterback. Oh, boy. There's a flag on the field.
2 flags.
Multiple flags.
Taken down by number.
That's Carson McLaughlin on the tackle.
2 flags, and I think we're going to have a hold on the play, or maybe even a block in the back. So that might be coming back. And I think even Middletown coaches know that. They're like, hey, you held, or you had the block in the back. So referees are going to figure it out. Actually, mark off the hold at the 49-yard line. It'll be a 10-yard foul. They're going to move that back to, well, officially we'll call it the 40-yard line. So they're going to move it back 10. Ball will be marked at the Middletown 40. 1st and about 19 for Middletown at their own 40-yard line. I want to say thank you to everyone here at the Port Jervis Youth Football League for helping us out and letting us come and be in the press box today. And we're glad to be bringing you this action live here on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're listening, share it with your friends and family. And then we want you to comment, too. The comments keep coming up. We keep giving out the shout-outs to all the people listening. I want to thank you all because it's a lot of work putting this together. We want to make sure you're having fun. And we're going to do our best to do this as many games as we can as possible. Single back in the backfield for Middletown now. Motion. They go handoff up the middle. Ooh, nice block and a hit made at the line of scrimmage. Tackle on the play by Chris Devaney from Port Jervis. Number 50, Devaney with a nice hit. Short gain for Middletown. 2nd down. We'll give him 8. We'll give him 17. 2nd and 17. Port Jervis shows a 5-man, 4-man defensive front. Up front for the Raiders is Devontae Griffin, along with Colin Carreri on the right side. And that's Mark Reinhardt Jr. on the left side. And, of course, on the end on the left-hand side, that's Gage Smith. That's your front 4. We'll get your linebackers as the play progresses. Inside linebacker is Nicholas Muller, number 44, along with number 23, Mason Lisberg. Those 2 guys spearhead the inside linebacker core. Middletown spreading things out right now. They got a wide out left, and they got twins to the right. Port, a little bit defensive confusion. R.J. Marchinson late on the move from left to right. Port Jervis is going to have to burn a timeout, as Port Jervis just was a little unsure of their defensive setup. So they're going to take a timeout. Both teams retire to their sidelines for some coaching instruction. And this is the first game today. We have 3 games. We had Mighty Mites, we had D-1, and now this is D-2. This is the first game in which the coaches are all on the sidelines. Mighty Mites had coaches on the field. The D-1, as we learned today, had 1 coach on the field, and that'll be for the first 4 weeks of the season. But at this level, D2, all the coaches are assembled on the sidelines. So it really is, we will call this without a doubt, as legit football as you can for this age level. Kevin, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm good. I just got in touch with Christian Farrell. We mentioned before, Christian does the broadcasting for Middletown football on Wall Radio.
Kevin, you're everywhere, man.
Well, I know that he coached in Middletown youth football, so I wanted to see. I sent him a picture of the roster and say, hey, you know any of these kids? He says he's only coached a couple of them, and it was a couple of years ago, but he did mention that Jalen Jackson is very good, but this is his first year in D2. So he may, I don't know how much time he'll see. But Christian's son is the JV quarterback for Middletown, and Christian coached the kid whose name escapes me right now, who's the varsity starter for Middletown.
Well,
He's
Christian
turning into a good
Farrell
quarterback.
he's also the veterans coordinator for Orange County, and I saw him in a meeting in Goshen. And to this day, I think one of his proudest moments was when he told me that his Middletown team he coached beat Gary Spears' Port team once years ago. So that was his highlight. Christian's a good guy, and it's glad that he's involved in youth football in Middletown. Here we go now. Second down. Port Jervis is on the defensive side. And what a play by Gage Smith, 13 from that left end position. Tackles the quarterback for a huge loss on the play. Smith quick to give out some sweet justice there on that play. Huge loss on the play for Middletown. Ball being marked at the 36-yard line. And it'll be 3rd and 1,000,000 for Middletown.
Yeah, they need just inside Port territory for a first.
Kevin, are you proud of me?
Very.
There are 5 plays into the game, and I haven't even once mentioned the concession stand. But Bryce Sotelo, league president, is sitting next to us here in the press box. Bryce, hats off to you and all the volunteers. What a great day. And I know you can't take credit for anything, and you won't, but I'll give you a little bit credit. You did good with the weather. So deep handoff for Middletown right now. Oh, huge hit. And what a run. Ooh, what a tackle by Kinney.
Number 19 on the tackle.
Wow, Cody Kinney with a big hit down at the end of the play. A block on the Jervis, and I believe that was Cody Lucas. Nope, it was Chris Devaney, and he just got walloped on the play. And he's a little shook up in the huddle there. He's holding his head a bit. We'll have to see if Coach noticed that. He took quite a hit. Oh, there's another flag. I believe there's another flag on the field.
We have some discussion going on now between the officials and the coaches.
Yeah, I think that there might have been an illegal formation, and you're going to have – yeah, there weren't enough men in the backfield. So they're going to move that back. I don't know why they're going to keep the ball there. I don't know why they're going to put the ball there. But anyways, it's going to be 4th down for Middletown. So – all right, so it has to do with some positioning on that last play. But nonetheless, it'll be 4th down and about 7 for Middletown at the Port Jervis 47-yard line.
So the 4 kids are up front. Colin Carreri, Nicholas Muller, Gage Smith, and Mark Reinhardt Jr. Those are the 4 kids on the defensive line. I'll check that. It's Devontae Griffith along with
Devaney was in on that last play, and he took a wallop at that inside position.
Did they get him off of the field?
No, they moved him back to linebacker.
Okay, here's a handoff and a nice hit made by Gage Smith and helping him out on that tackle.
That was, what's his name? Cody Lucas, right? 51?
Yes.
A nice play on the bottom there. And Devaney, he's even coming off, too, with a big hit. So that was a huge play for Port, and it'll be a turnover on downs right at the halfway stripe. So Port Jervis will get the ball 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. That Port defense came up big there, that last play. This is game 3 of our afternoon as the Port Jervis D-2 Raiders are hosting the D-2 Middletown Middies. And we've been all Port Middletown all day today. And what a just a beautiful day to be here. Great games all around. Everyone seems to be having a lot of fun. Hey, the activity was so exciting that we even had the varsity football coach himself here, and that Damian Struharski came down after his team scrimmaged Goshen and Burke. I'll get a chance to talk to him. I see him across the field. Chris Delato's here as well. He's one of the varsity coaches. So it's nice to see the varsity coaches here enjoying some youth football. And I know Chris Delato and his family have been proud supporters of youth football for as long as I can remember him. 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Dylan Fox, quarterback, and he's going to hand this ball off. Oh, what a hit made in the backfield. The ball was carried by Karsten McLaughlin. And little birdie told me that McLaughlin is an absolute beast. His youngest brother was on the D1. Was he in the D1?
He was
or the
Mighty Mites.
Mighty Mites. That's
number 4.
So this birdie that talked to me about Karsten, he said that the younger brother came to the D2 practice and beat just about everybody on the D2 team in a foot race. And he's a Mighty Mite.
See, Kevin, you got your little birdies everywhere. You're like the ultimate. You're the ultimate youth football spy.
You got to at least try to sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, I'd just go on Google.
Oh, I like the I formation here by the Raiders. Fox going to hand. Oh, he's going to pitch this one. Dangerous, and the ball's loose. Port covers it. Deep pitch to McLaughlin. Port was able to get back on that one. Who jumped on that one? Was that the fullback?
Yeah, the pitch dude was high. That's a tough pitch. That went to Dylan Fox, and I believe Fox was quarterback, right?
Yeah, Devaney might have been the fullback. I'm not positive. We don't have the benefit of instant replay here.
That's next, Kevin. Oh no, the telestrator was next. The score on the board will be next. And
Yeah,
then
the fullback is Devaney. He was the one who was able to cover that one. He lines up as the fullback, and Carson McLaughlin is the tailback in the I formation.
and Colton Eckert lined up wide right here. It's a nice hit on. Boy, what a surge up the middle by number 15 from Middletown. And that is that's that Jackson, Jalen Jackson. And your Christian Farrell gets 100% props on that. He's right. That kid can play.
4th and forever.
Yeah, so it's going to be a punt now for Port, and it's an automatic return, I believe. No, I'm sorry, this is D2. They're going to set up and kick the ball.
Well, Mason Witkowski is back there to boot it away.
So 4th down for Port at the D2 level. They punt the ball. It looks like Middletown's going to call timeout as they don't have the positioning. Well, first of all, they got like 15 guys out there, so they're going to call timeout. And I'm not talking to coaches.
Too many.
Just a few too many.
That's funny.
But Middletown's going to take a timeout. Gives us a chance to catch up a little bit. Now, Kevin, you're you got your birdies everywhere. You got all your spies everywhere. But this is a family day. Your daughter, she cheered at the Mighty Mites, and you got your nephew playing now.
Yeah, my daughter and my niece cheer for the Mighty Mites.
Oh, your niece too?
Natalie, my daughter, and my niece Kendall, they are 3 months apart.
All right.
Kendall was born in the end of February. Natalie's in the middle. And then Colton, who is about 14 months older than my son, he is playing on this D2 team. He played the last 3 years in Payal. And this year they made the switch, came over to the PJYFL. He's pretty anxious, and he's out there at center right now. This is his position. He plays center. He's a long snapper, so I want you to see how he does here. Watch.
All right.
Watch how the ball gets delivered to Mason Witkowski for the punt here. This is Colton's special.
Well, the last play before that, he lined up wide right, and he laid a nice block on the cornerback. So he goes from wide out to the long snapper. And you know what? There's money in being a long snapper. A lot of colleges will find you. You can snap that ball far.
Colton looking pretty good in the Port red and black, I'll tell you.
It's a natural color. And I got to tell you one thing. Yeah, Middletown, they still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got 8 guys, 7 guys at line of scrimmage. They still broke the huddle with 12.
See how he does here. Here's the snap for the punt, and there's movement on the line.
Well, he held the count. About the punt, it's all about the cadence call. And back deep for the cadence is Nicholas Ostrom, and he's the up back. So he's the one that's got to, I believe, signal the cadence. So it's Witkowski going to receive the punt. The snap will come from Eckert. And as long as I can remember, the greatest thing about youth football is how they get their splits. Arms out from the lineman to get your splits. All right, Eckert with the snap. Oh, pretty snap. But okay.
Kind of Mason Witkowski stopped like as if there was something, as if a whistle had blown or a flag had been thrown. The ball is down by Carson McLaughlin at the Middletown 48.
So, Kevin, we'll talk about big stuff, little stuff, the whole shebang. There's a guy I know named Paul Lucas, and he runs a website called UniWatch. It's about uniforms. It's all about the aesthetics of athletics and always analyzing. And, like in Major League Baseball, they have 10 different jerseys now. They have 4 different hats. They have a baseball hat they wear for pregame, a game hat. They have a celebratory cap, the whole shebang. So I want to send Paul a picture because the games of today will probably put him into complete lunacy because the colored uniforms against colored uniforms are enough to drive anybody insane. So much so that he would probably list this on his website. So I might take a screenshot and send it to him.
Yeah, home and road alternates are a luxury that youth sports don't allow.
One thing his site and his site followers pointed out, in the NFL, they do the color rush games where they have the whole colored uniforms. Well, I forget what team it was. It might have been Seattle. It probably was this middle. Oh, look at the rush.
Oh! Wow, Devaney just levels the Middletown quarterback, forced a fumble. Middletown, did they recover? They did. Wow, look at Devaney. He's pumped up.
Yeah, he got walloped early on in the last series. He got hit hard. So nice play by Devaney there. Well, long and short on the color rush uniforms was that Seattle wore these lime green uniforms, top to bottom. And for some watchers on television who are colorblind, they couldn't see the uniforms.
It washed out with the field.
It washed out. Well, it washed out with their color blindness. So there was, and his fans brought that to attention. So yeah, there was something about the color that just made colorblind people a little bit difficult. So today, if you were colorblind and black was a color you couldn't see, you wouldn't see any of these players. So second down and long now for Middletown. It's a nice play by Delvaney on that play. And we got lots of people listening in right now. Hey, my good buddy Scott Cooper, he just jumped on board along with my friend Sean Hunter. And I want to say hey to you guys. Hopefully you're watching and enjoying some youth football here. Port Jervis youth football taking on Middletown youth football. D2 action. Middletown having troubles here because its defense from Port's been on fire. And look at that swarm tackling by the Raiders. Bottom of that play is Mark Reinhardt Jr., number 66. He comes up slapping 5. Looks
RJ
like
Marches and was in on that too.
How about that? So here we go. We got fourth down, I believe it'll be for Middletown. Okay, maybe third down. I think it should be fourth. Nonetheless, Middletown having troubles here, Kevin. Not only just orchestrating some offense, but just getting guys out. 12 guys on the line or 12 guys in the huddle. So Middletown having some struggles just getting things all set up here. All right, third and a bunch now for Middletown.
Maybe I shouldn't be set up standing right behind the camera.
We're audio guys, Kevin.
I've kicked it twice already.
That's all right. Listen, you can't kick the boom operator's camera. They got that big weight on it.
Deep handoff. Oh, look at the pursuit in the backfield. But was that Devaney again? Oh, and he's still going. This kid's still running. Now he's off. Now he's gone. They're able to wrap him up at the 40-yard line. But, boy, talk about effort. Holy smokes.
Well, Reinhardt, number 66 for Port Jervis, he got head slapped. He got head slapped on the play behind the line of scrimmage, and he's still down now. And he had the running back tackled. But he is hurt. He's banged up right now. So the coaches are going to have attention put on him.
Oof, that does not look good. Was that Jalen Jackson who ran that ball for Middletown?
I would put money on it. He's been their go-to guy.
His right side.
Yeah. This tough. At this level, the hits are really intense, and the players are no joke.
Well, bigger, stronger kids.
Yeah.
Action's a little bit faster. Middletown's coming to the sideline.
And it is Reinhardt they're taking a look at on the 30 feet just now. And the coaches are clapping and laughing. So obviously, whatever it is needed a little blow there.
Got Middletown coaches coming over to help too.
That's what it's all about, you know? That's what it's all about. It's about teamwork. It's also about sportsmanship. So hats off to the coach from Middletown coming over to help Reinhardt Jr.
You know, it's important to remember too that all of these, I'm not sure all of them, but most of these coaches are dads. And this is an experience. It's an incredible bonding experience to be able to teach your kid, you know, not only the skills of playing sports, but all the things that come with it, all the life lessons, the teamwork, sportsmanship. It's just a really awesome opportunity. You know, you want the teams to do well. Everybody wants to win. If you've ever played any game, whether it's Monopoly or football, you know, you want to win. But what you get out of coaching your kids is just it's invaluable. It's an awesome experience.
Now, you've been a dad. You've been a coach before. Coach pitch baseball, probably the most stressful of all the coach sports from any. I mean, you could coach high school football with your kid on the team. That's got to be way easier than pitching balls.
Right, because you're not out there with the responsibility of delivering the ball that's about to be hit. And softball wasn't that much easier. I got to tell you, you know, Erin Babb, who is a coach in the Port Jervis Little League with us in coach pitch softball, she made a name for herself as a Little League and high school pitcher in softball. She said it's totally different. You try to pitch to the kids. New quarterback from Middletown, and oh boy, huge hole on the left side. Big hole on the left side. And Middletown just goes right
all
through it.
about vertical explosiveness, just shooting right down the middle of the field. Well, Kevin, you know, one of our good friends is Jimmy Mischuk. He told me when he was coach pitch, he said the first week in practice, the first kid he hit was his own kid. I said, Jimmy, what are you doing that for? He goes,
You gotta hit your own kid.
He goes, if I hit my kid, every other kid knows, oh, geez, if he's going to hit his own kid, he could hit me. I better pay attention to what he teaches.
Yeah, some coaches take the tact of hitting everybody the first practice, just so you all know.
Well, I heard you tried not to hit every kid and you hit them all, but
Yeah,
that's just what I heard.
I hit every kid at least once.
But we talk about it in a good way, though. To have dads involved and moms involved in the sports like that in a positive way is good. Boy, This guy is all legit. To the house goes Middletown.
George Richards on the carry there, huge hole. and he will score the game's first touchdown.
Yeah, George Richards, we got to check his birth certificate. That's a big kid right there.
Yeah, Richards on the roster, it shows that he will be 11. He's only 10 now.
Wow. Well, he's got some skill. He's a big kid too, and he took it right to the house there.
Just big hole in the right side and bust right through.
Now, Middletown gets on the scoreboard first here.
He's tall too, so a couple strides for him, and he's past the secondary.
And that's it. And in this game where it's all about the inside run to try to get outside, if you can, you pack things in there and get all your defensive linemen down, get your linebackers in tight, and that running back gets through that scrum, and he's into the end zone. And he showed it right there. So Middletown now, it looks like they're going to opt for the 1-point conversion, just like in the last game, D1. In D2, the run-in is a 1-point conversion, and the kick is a 2-point conversion. So Middletown setting up to go for one. Single back deep in the backfield. How about that?
That's Jackson. He gets the carry. Wow, what a tackle. Was that Carson? Carson McLaughlin on the hit there. Oh,
Nice.
That was a beastly open field tackle there by McLaughlin.
Saved the point, too. So Middletown will take a 6-0 lead here in the first half of action.
You know what I heard, too? This McLaughlin kid, number 26 for Port. First year playing football in a while, if ever. Played soccer most recently.
I heard
that's
about.
What he's been doing. Now he's playing football.
We got the intel that he was a soccer player, and now he came back to football. We welcome that type of activity. So Port will get things set by getting the ball back. They trail Middletown now, 6-0 here in this D2 action. Thank you all for listening in on the internet, and if you are listening in, hey, we have a shout out. If you got a kid playing, or a neighbor's kid playing, or someone you know, give us a shout out. We'll make sure that we let everybody know you're enjoying watching this. And if you are, make sure you go out and support our sponsors, the Outdoor Club of Port Jervis, our sponsor, along with Richard's Army Surplus. So make sure you go out and say hi to those guys and spend a little money locally. We want to thank everybody here from the Port Jervis Youth Football League. Bryce Sotelo is president of the league, his whole bunch of volunteers from the board, all and everyone involved. My special thanks goes to one of my favorite volunteers, the grill sergeant himself. Kevin, I had to say that. And nothing would be possible without one of the good guys of youth football standing behind us, and that's my man, Fred DeGroat. Fred, thanks for everything, buddy. Thanks for helping us bring youth football back to its glory here. And, I got a chance to talk to Mark Muller, too. I want to thank him. And, it's so many people who come together. Kevin, you and I were talking about, you be a dad, you want to coach. You be a mom, you want to coach cheer. But also just to be part of the program. I mean, we're in a beautiful press box. Kevin, you and I have called plenty of games at some pretty good high school facility. How many press boxes have you been in that have carpet and a ceiling fan?
None.
Exactly. Until today.
None press boxes.
None press boxes. So Port Jervis gets to start things off at their own 5-yard line. They trail Middletown 6-0 here in this D2 game. All right. Trying to count to 11. Try to count to 11. I think
one of the most important skills at this level.
Yep. And it's hard. Port only got to 10. So they're like, all right, we'll take one more. And coming onto the field for the Raiders.
Colton Eckert's the center now for the offensive.
He did that snap so well for the long snap. They will bring him in. Marchinson now in at the right end position. He came off the bench. Inside handoff goes outside right away. And McLaughlin met by 6 or 7 middies.
Well, the D2 Port team is facing a similar struggle to what D1 saw. They're just having a hard time getting downfield blocking.
Middletown has some real solid athletes out there. Port Jervis needs to sustain their blocks at the line of scrimmage just a little bit, just enough to allow the running back to get some open space to see where he needs to go. I got to tell you one thing. This kid, number 13 for Port Jervis, Gage Smith, just walked into the huddle. He's got a swagger about him. He's all about football.
He's a kid, and my brother-in-law is coaching this year on the team with Colton, with his son, and he told me, gauge somebody. This kid is an absolute beast.
He just walked back into that huddle full of excitement, but a little bit of like, guys, that last play was not good, and we're going to do better on this play. He's lined up at the right or left guard position, and he's matched up against number 12 from Middletown. And 12 is one of their bigger players. We'll see. That's Patterson. So pass up the middle to the
little bubble screen to Devaney.
Devaney. Oh, nice tackle on the play.
And guess who that was? That was Jalen Jackson again.
Yeah, well, we heard things about him, things so far that have been 100% true.
Yep. As if he needed more credibility, Christian Farrell hit that one on the nose.
Christian's a good guy. He knows his thing or two about football. So 3rd and long now for Port Jervis. We'll give him 11. Port Jervis trailing Middletown 6-0 right now in this D2 game. And the fans are still all on their feet on the away side, or on the home side, getting the action in.
What do you say about 3rd and 12, Tommy?
We'll give him a 12. And it is McLaughlin, cuts to the right. Boy,
look at him move through the tacklers. Holy smokes,
and
he got the first down. What an effort there by McLaughlin at the line of scrimmage.
That play looked like it was going to be maybe a 1 or 2 yard gain, and he just found his way outside. Got the first down, huge first down for, well, I guess he was out of bounds before the first down. So they're going to mark him a little bit short. They got him marked at about the 43-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 4th and about 2, maybe 3. Yep, we'll give him 43, 4th and 2. Tough one here for the Raiders. You don't want to punt the ball, but at the same time, you got to get the first down. Can't give Middletown the ball back inside Port territory. But they're going to go for it here.
Shout out to the O-line, too. They did a good job blocking ahead of McLaughlin to spring him up for that play.
Oh, Middletown's going to call timeout. Second timeout. Middletown wants to make sure they know what they're doing here. It's a good timeout for Middletown. They're up 6-0 over Port Jervis. Port Jervis just put a nice run down the field. And for Middletown, they want to take their time and say, guys, this is 4th down. We need to button things up and not allow Port to convert on this. For the Raiders, this is a freebie, free timeout. Gives them a chance to discuss some personnel and some plays and see what's ahead of them.
It's a gift.
Interesting for Port Jervis, the ball's marked on the right hash mark. Port's success on the ground has been to the right. So you wonder if maybe Middletown's going to cheat that way. Port Jervis can utilize the full side of the field and maybe come to the left. We'll have to wait and see. One thing I don't expect, I don't think the ball is going to go in the air.
If I'm going to guess, I'm going to say they're going to try to find a way to get McLaughlin, get him the ball and get him to the outside. You know, they haven't had a lot of success getting it out there and keeping the Middletown, the linebackers off the line of scrimmage.
Well, the success I think will come is through the dive through the line and then cut out. Because if they try to run the pitch or the sweep to the outside, Middletown's been doing a great job of feathering the play. But if they can get to the line of scrimmage and then cut out, that's where Port's had their success. And look at this. I think they're going with a triple I.
Yeah.
Triple I. And how about this? Left tackle Dylan Fox.
Oh, they fumbled. I think there might have been a little miscommunication because they had the first down. They gave it to Devaney.
I don't think they were supposed to give it to Devaney.
Something. Either Chris didn't realize it or they weren't supposed to but he had the first down if he would have held on to that football.
Well, I think with, you had that triple I. So now all of a sudden you got 2 fullbacks. So I'm thinking they're going to block with 2 fullbacks and the tailback's getting the ball. And I think Delvaney's flipper got out or he got hungry for the football. Nonetheless, it'll be first down for Middletown on Port Jervis's 45-yard line. So a play that Port Jervis would love to have over again results in a turnover on downs. Port Jervis brings the defense back out. On the defensive line, Colin Carreri is the right end position, along with Griffith 45.
Hey, Gage Smith is out there.
Reinhardt's back out, and Smith as well.
Hey, good to see Reinhardt back out.
Yeah, he took a wallop to the head and bounced right back. So Port showing 4-4, 4-man off defensive line and 4 linebackers. Switch right now on the linebackers as Delvaney goes right. To the left goes Wachowski.
And you also have Cameron Elder and Nicholas Muller in at linebacker for Port.
Rounding out the defense. And the one cornerback is the double deuce, and that's R.J. Marchitson. And out to the wide right is Karsten McLaughlin. And that's your defensive alignment. That's a good setup for Port right there.
Yeah, the 4-4 here.
I like it. A lot of versatility with those linebackers. In fact, look at Muller. He's playing the inside linebacker. He marked himself off. I got to be 3-4 yards off the ball. He just marked it off himself. Middletown now breaks this huddle. Well, they like that. One back in the backfield, real deep, don't they? And their ends just don't seem to know where they want to be.
Yeah, a little switch of position there for Andrew Smith and Amari Smith.
Tell you what, they're going to be tired. They just ran 40 yards apiece. See, they got too many men at the line of scrimmage here. They have not enough men in the backfield.
It's going to be a play-action pass, and here comes the hit from Devaney. Chris Devaney's having himself a heck of a game defensively, and he comes up wagging the finger.
Oh, man.
I love it. Swagger on the Port Jervis side.
He's playing that outside position, and he is playing that well. And remember, when they broke the huddle, he was on the other side, and he said, I'm switching up over there. So he saw something and took advantage of it. Here's something for Middletown. They're up 6-0, and they've already used 2 timeouts. And they've had trouble breaking the huddle and being lined up properly. Port Jervis has been great at times, and their defense makes an exemplary play like that. Now, to compound that, a play with a turnover now would be spectacular for the Raiders. Apparently, they want Amari in, and that's not the play call. That's the command from the coaches. Amari in. Can't figure this out. They only technically have 1 back in the backfield and 1 wide out in the backfield, so they kind of have a set that's a little squirrely, but it looks at the pass again. Oh boy, and Smith
has him. Gage Smith. Oh, he had him and he let him go. A 50-yard line and out of bounds goes the midi quarterback, and that was Cam Headley.
And Reinhardt Jr. at the end of the play got walloped. All right, Kev, I've got to do better on this camera. Sorry, I might have missed the end of that. So, all right.
It's a lot of responsibility, Tommy. Usually we're only worried about talking.
Heavy lies the crown, right? Ball's being marked officially out of bounds at the Port 46-yard line. So it'll bring up a 3rd and about 11 for Middletown. And for Port Jervis, man, Gage Smith had that play snuffed out. But they were unable to cap it off. So Port Jervis now Middletown 3rd and long. Raider defense, man, looking sharp. Aside from the big touchdown, the rest of this has been good defense from Port Jervis.
Middletown center is ready, and that's about it.
He's the littlest guy on the field.
That's Neftali Acevedo, the center for Middletown.
And here comes Amari. Here comes Amari. Amari in. That's going to be the line. Nope. All right, they got guys in motion too many times. Outside pitch it goes.
Yep, and that's
what a tackle. Tackle on the play by Marchinson, and he got his neck rolled just a little bit.
Ooh, he's hurting.
He got his helmet was on the ground. He kind of rolled over his head a little bit. I think he's gonna be all right. Nice play on the play.
And here come the Port coaches.
And there's a late flag on the field. And the flag is in the defensive secondary. You know, we were talking to Jimmy Hendry during the Mighty Mites game, talking about players and was injuries and being hurt. You teach kids growing up, you don't hit kids. You don't hit any parents. You don't hit your brothers or sisters, and you don't hit your friends. You don't hit people in school. Well, now all of a sudden in football, it's okay to hit people.
And encouraged.
And also, that means you're going to get hit. And that's something that, as Jimmy said it so perfectly, he goes, it's unnatural. It's unnatural as we have Marchinson getting up, which is good. And it's unnatural to be hit. And how you react to being hit is so something that you got to figure out. And so for kids at this level, thank God that when we see kids that are falling down like that are not really seriously hurt. That maybe they got banged up a little bit, or they felt a pain that they probably never felt before.
Or just got their bell rung,
Exactly. And so it's about understanding that you're going to hit and you're going to be hit and how you react to that. So as we can see in that play, Martinson, he bounced up off of that, and the coaches were, giving him high fives and stuff. So it's good to see that it's not a serious thing. But yeah, I mean, it's unnatural as a young person, to have someone just steamroll you. And you not being, if you're not prepared for it, it's definitely going to hurt.
And with RJ out, they bring in Dylan Fox into the secondary for Port.
All right. Dylan Fox is now on the field and Marchinson's to the sideline. And like we said, he's getting a little bit of water, so nothing seriously to worry about. We got 4 minutes before halftime here. Middletown up 6-0. Middletown taking eternity in their huddles. And then when they break the huddle, they send those poor little receivers in motion or in wrong position. They have to run 50 yards.
So it's snap it from the Port 45.
And the coach just had the greatest line ever. Know what you're doing. Kevin, I might use that at varsity on Friday nights. Know what you're doing.
Simple advice. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Middletown breaks the huddle. They got a single back in the backfield.
Yep, Cam Henley is still the quarterback.
Port Jervis still running that 4-4 defense, and it is an inside handoff. And look who it is. It's Gage Smith at the bottom.
Yeah, he was being pushed off of the line by the Middletown offensive lineman and was able to free up his right arm and wrap it around the ball carrier.
It's great. He was engaged on the left side, and on the right side, he still was able to make that tackle. Stops Middletown for the loss. It'll be a turnover on downs, and just like that, Port Jervis gets the ball back. And for the Raiders, opportunity here now. The Raiders offense hasn't been spectacular at all. Defense has been strong. Look who we have. We have Coach Jimmy now. Coach Jimmy, as his shirt says, here is to be the PA announcer at youth football, right, Jimmy? And Kevin, I can, we were talking, of course, about one of my favorite things is the concession stand. And Jimmy, like you, is a dad. And I'm sure that these games cost a fortune in terms of feeding the kids and keeping them happy.
Well, I gave some money to my wife before she left to get the kids ready and come back. And when she came back, she said she had no more money for the concession stand. So
oh, boy.
They're going to be pretty unhappy. Here's Dylan Fox rolling out. Oh, this is a lame duck. And it's caught. Almost caught. Holy cow. What an effort by Witkowski to try to reel that one in. Mason Witkowski had to come across and try to bail out his quarterback there a little bit. Second down coming for the Raiders here. Halftime. And running back into the game, Cody Kinney from the sideline.
All right, Kev, just to keep things on the up and up, I just had a little technical difficulty I had to deal with.
No
worries.
worries.
We lost the feed, and we're back.
Second down play coming for Port Jervis. Fox will go under center.
And that is McLaughlin cuts to the right side. And that's the problem with Port Jervis's offense. McLaughlin wants to get outside, but that Middletown defense just knows, and they string him out, and there's nowhere he can go. And he's taken for a loss on the play.
Third down at about 16. Port needs to get to Middletown's 48, between the 48 and the 47 for a first down. And they have not had much luck offensively in this game.
All right. Now I hear another call for timeout. It's going to be Port Jervis calling a timeout.
Timeout, Port Jervis.
So the Raiders need to think things over. It's an important play for them. Third and long, trailing 6-0. And they want to try to get at least past halfway or past the 50-yard line. Love to put a score in before halftime. The score right now is 6-0 Middletown. And Port Jervis is trailing Middletown 6-0 in this D2 matchup. Opening day for all the Raiders, D2, D1. And, of course, the Mighty Mites got things started at 10 a.m. Beautiful day to be here today for youth football. We want to thank everybody.
Yeah, next week the whole group goes to Goshen, I believe. It's a Sunday game. All the home games, though, are going to be Saturdays. 4 home, 4 away for the season, 8-game season. And then D2 has the opportunity to go to playoffs. D1, they have playoffs, Jimmy? Yeah. Playing teams from all over Orange County, even Ulster. We played Kingston this year, played Newburgh.
Minute 55 remaining.
All right, big third down play for the Raiders. They need the ball to the midi 47-yard line, we'll call it, for a first down. Fox going to be under center. Flag stops this play. Boy, he was able to get the pass to McLaughlin.
Looks like motion, Port Jervis.
Yep, it's illegal motion. Port's going to have to go 5 yards further back. Task becomes a little bit taller here, Tommy.
Oh, indeed.
3rd and 21.
3rd and 21 from the PA announcer. That's a lot of work for the Raiders.
Port down 6-0, trying to do something here before the first half comes to an end.
All right. I hit the wrong button, Kevin. Almost disconnected us.
We're back, though, right?
I think so. Yes, we are. All right. Third down now for the Raiders.
See what Port center.
Screen. Oh, and there's some downfield.
Devaney's got it. He's across the 45. Boy, he got a lot. He didn't get everything they needed for a first down, but he certainly made the fourth down a significantly different play call, bringing it almost to midfield. Call it the 48.
And the Middletown's saying that there was a lineman who caught that.
No, that was Devaney. Devaney's lined up at the fullback pretty much the entire game.
And I think if they're concerned about the number, I'm sure the number of his uniform hasn't been much a suspect earlier in the game. So, and even the referee's like, no, that was his second catch of the game. So,
well, we don't have the opportunity for an instant replay, but I'm wondering if Middletown does with this dual camera setup.
Well, we might have to tap into them because my Facebook feed keeps shutting me out. They want me to go home.
Fourth down, the Raiders need about 6 or 7 here for first. Yeah, see, there's Devaney. He's lined up as the fullback right now, so he's eligible. They're going to give it to him, and he's going to rumble for the first down.
Oh, I like it. Like it.
What an effort there at the end of that play by Chris Devaney. Kid's tough out there. He got hit hard early in the game, and since then he's done nothing but make big plays for Port. Clock's running. Does Port have any timeouts left? They are running, sprinting to the line. So we're just inside of a minute now. Fox under center I formation behind him. He's going to take the snap, and the ball is handed off again. They're going to go to Devaney. Devaney will squeeze past the 45 to about the 42 of Middletown, and the Raiders call timeout. So they're going with just some brute force up front, relying on the offensive line and the big fullback, Chris Devaney, to move the ball. Raiders need the Middletown 36-yard line, somewhere between the 36 and 37 for another set of downs, but they're also working against the clock here, Tommy. They're inside of a minute to play, down 6-0, trying to get